Welcome back, dreamers, to The Lucky Die. Previously, Balance gets a goodnight kiss, Rhal likes jumping on the bed, Pintor jumps into the unknown, and Zaltanna faces her worst nightmare. With the assistance of their alchemist friends, the group joins Zaltanna in her dream as she fiercely fights to remove the mark of the Sandman from herself, and hopefully to save Adet. After a battle of wills, the Sandman performs the ultimate psychic damage. The only question we care about is, can Zaltanna bring Adet back from the dead? I guess you're about to find out. Welcome back to The Lucky Die.
The four of you slowly blink back into consciousness. Rhal, you're feeling super rough. It's like you have heartburn just everywhere in your body right now. It's super not good. Balance, you come through feeling pretty exhausted. Whatever happened in weird ass dream world, you're definitely down on your side points. They have definitely been used. Pintor, nailed it. Pintor, your lucky stuff is all gone. For whatever reason, it was happening in Dreamworld, but your luck for the day is out. And Zaltanna, as you come into consciousness, you hear Benno yelling and like shaking Adet's body. What do you guys want to do?
Dismiss my fire elemental.
As you were coming to, it wasn't around.
Okay, good.
You can, as you wake up, you begin to see there are scorch marks around. You see that Kythea's hair is like kind of smoking a little bit, but it's generally okay. Like, chaos happened, but they seem to have gotten through it.
Balance has a sheepish look and then looks over to Zaltanna and looks over at Adet.
Has it been a minute?
No.
Okay. Zaltanna's gonna look up and be like, this is gonna sound really weird, but does anybody have a diamond?
Balance is going to reach into his bag and he's going to underhand toss a diamond to Zaltanna.
I'm gonna do Revivify.
Okay.
Is the diamond worth 300
where
gold pieces?
it's 100 for Revified, I think.
No, it says 300. Wait,
But
I might have
basically, yes.
I might have written it wrong.
Yes, it's a
I
diamond
think raised
used
it,
for
it's
Revivify.
300.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, specifically it was like there's a definite, like, yeah. You make your way over to Adet carrying this diamond. Like, you've heard tales way back in the day of paladins doing this sort of things. You're going on a hope and a prayer because you've never done this before. You just know the thing
Tears
that you
just
need.
streaming down her face.
All right, her head is resting in Benno's lap, and he's like trying to shake her, but she's not moving. She's not breathing. That familiar heartbeat you normally have in your chest is gone. Being that you're a paladin, being that this is, I'm going to say, some sort of prayer-based thing for you, what are you trying to entice Tyr to allow you to break through to the stalking? What's your prayer right now?
Bring her back to me. She didn't deserve this. I don't deserve this. Benno doesn't deserve this. You know that she's good, and this is not how it's supposed to happen.
As you say this and you're holding onto your symbol, you reach out and touch her shoulder. You look into her eyes and you see a sepia color go over her eyes. You're the only one who sees this right now. And slowly you see these colours begin to merge across her entire body, her entire face. And then it begins to spread and everything around you begins to slow down in time. I need to ask something fairly important because it will determine who turns off their microphones and who doesn't. Are you taking someone through to the stalking with you?
Rhal.
Okay. In that case, Balance and Pintor, I need you guys to mute yourselves just so that Peanut Gallery. Love you guys very much. Continue to comment as the game goes through. We won't hear it, but yeah. As the world begins to go sepia coloured for you, your heart just like reaches out, your spirit reaches out to Rhal. And Rhal, you feel that familiar feeling of being pulled, being dragged into the stalking. You too see the world slowing down around you, everything turning a weird sepia colour. But then there's something different about this. As everything stops and slows and you guys definitely feel you're in the stalking, everything is much, much darker in Zaltanna stalking. There is a thick, heavy mist all around you, obscuring everything but where you guys are and where Odette is. Where Odette was. Because as you look down, she's gone. It's just the two of you here in this frozen in time, mist-filled room.
Zaltanna?
Oh, hi, Rhal. Don't ask me. I honestly don't know.
Rhal walks over and sits close by.
As you go over to sit close to her, you realise that there's a person standing behind her shoulder. Someone that Zaltanna hasn't noticed yet. In your grief and in your pain, you haven't noticed that the screaming has stopped in your head. And Rhal, as you walk over, you see an elven woman standing behind her. You see your friend, the Spectre, standing there next to her. He gives you a slight nod, takes her hand, and they fizzle out, just leaving you two standing there, or sitting there, next to where Odette's body should be.
I've never done this before. I don't know how this works. Shouldn't she be here?
Rhal is wide-eyed and kind of drooling a bit of blood and looking around kind of equally, confused.
Take a perception check for me, please.
Both of us, or?
Sure.
It's a 14.
22. Damn.
On your 22, as you look around, you can see that there are dark shapes in this mist. Humanoid shapes, some very tall, some very small. You can also see on your 22 that there are very tall, thin, skeletal creatures that seem to be moving in this mist as well, reaching out to some of these dark shapes and then just disappearing in a very, very light flash of light. You see one of these shapes making their way towards you. You can hear each step echo in this vast emptiness of this as you begin looking around, really realizing that the walls have disappeared from what you've known. The ground has disappeared, you're just in this heavy, thick, dark mist. This creature is making its way towards you. It's moving fairly slowly, each step echoing. You can see wings begin to sprout in the silhouette making its way towards you. Are you guys gonna flee or are you gonna stay?
I'm staying.
Yeah, Rhal's gonna point that out for sure. Kind of like tap you and start to get in a position where he's able to run if they need to, and try to help Zaltanna up getting to that position as well. I don't think we're going to be up and running too quickly, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. You two make yourself ready for whatever happens, fight or flight. As the creature gets its way closer, you begin to see some of the features. It's very, very similar to your Spectre friend, but at the same time not. It's a fairly short, kind of creature. Now it's up close, but still very thin. You can see its skeletal structure underneath very tight skin. You can see there are cracks in their skin, straight down to the bone. In their eyes, there is a dark green glow. And you can see that its hair is just a scraggly mess of whites and greys. You can see that their robes that they're wearing are very similar to the mist. It's just a dark, kind of greyish colour, probably formed of mist. It reaches you, and it's probably only fairly slightly taller than Zaltanna. They seem to be carrying a very big scythe on their back. You can see that on their knuckles, on their bony fingers, they are wearing very thick brass rings. You could tell if they're going to whack you with those, it's going to hurt. As they approach you, they say,
You're neither of you dead yet. What are you doing here?
I'm here to get my wife.
You see the eyes look down at you almost sadly, and they say,
Your wife. What is her name?
Odette Thunderheart.
Odette. Yes. She is here. She was just about to make her way to the next place.
She's coming home with me.
That will be for her to decide. But I will give you the chance to speak to her. But it comes at a cost.
What is it? What's the cost?
The question is, what would you pay to speak to her?
Anything.
it smiles and says,
What are you willing to give up? Either of you.
and your eyes kind of like flick over to Rhal again and look back at you.
Look, man, I ain't gonna ask Rhal to give up anything from my wife. You know? What do you want from me? Be specific. There's only so much I can actually give you. What do you want, like a finger? Take a finger. Do you want, like, 10 years off my life? Take 10 years off my life. Fuck. Take half the rest of my life. Give me
No.
What do you need?
No.
Rhal, what?
If you'll help me make it long enough to get Ama, I will do this. I might not last long enough anyways.
You do not have much time. People have sacrificed their sights, their senses. They've lost the ability to wield weapons or artisan tools, languages, memories, strength,
Looks at Rhal.
their tolerance for certain pains. It doesn't matter which one of you pays the cost, but a sacrifice must be made for you to speak to the dead.
I should pay it. It's Odette. What do you want from me? Because I'm willing to give up any of those things that you mentioned. Just tell me what you want. I'm not creative. I'm not smart.
Zaltanna, you can't.
I can't. Why can't I?
Because you have to help balance.
Right, but I can help balance, without, my ability to tolerate pain or like a finger or, I guess I probably can't help him without my sight, but...
The only thing I know I can resist is acid. I could give that up.
Rhal, no, you'll die! You will literally die. You're being eaten up by your acid constantly, aren't you? Like, if you can't resist that at all, you'll literally die within 3 seconds.
It is a cost that I could take.
It's possible, Zaltanna. You can just help me stay calm, and I'll be fine. I'll make it long enough to get Dama back that way.
Rhal, I can't ask you to do this for me.
I'm offering. Do it.
I don't know how I can accept
Creature
this.
reaches out.
That's your life.
Creature reaches out and taps Rhal on the head. You lose your resistance to acid. And I don't remember what the alternate version is.
Oh, God damn it, Neil.
But
I'm actually crying.
I will make you pay for this, and it will not be an easy thing. With Rhal being tapped on the head, Rhal, you fade, you freeze in this moment. Zaltanna, standing before you, in that momentary flash, everything is replaced, and Adet is standing before you. She's bathed head to toe in a bright, whitish light. She's wearing long, flowing white robes, and she has red cords wrapped around her wrist. Her injuries that she had when you met her just previously are all gone. She is possibly even more beautiful than the day you met her. Anna?
Odette. It's really you here.
What are you doing here?
Come home with me, baby. I can bring you home.
She rushes forward and puts her arms around you.
I
Anna.
Hug her back.
Anna,
Don't
I know.
Don't tell me you can't.
Anna, I can. But I don't want to.
Why?
She sits down on the ground just in front of you and pulls you down into a hug. And she says, I'm done. I've brought back so many people, so many times. And she puts her hand to her ear. I brought back Tuck. I brought back Travos. I know things are supposed to end. It's just the end of my life.
Look, we all die. Obviously, But this Sandman bullshit, that's not how you die, Odette. Okay? That's not how this ends. That's not how any of this happens. If you're dying, you're gonna die not being murdered while you're asleep, okay? You come back, and if you're gonna die again, you die in battle, or you die, in a way that's fair. You don't get killed in your fucking sleep.
Anna.
That doesn't happen to you.
Anna, I'm not a fighter. I've never been a fighter.
You don't die in battle.
I'm a healer, and
But my point is, you don't die you don't get murdered in your sleep by a fucking demon asshole.
Anna, I have the chance to become a goddess.
What?
The holes in the fabric of reality. They need healing. And if I go to Cicero and I work hard, there's a chance that I can do some real good for this world.
But why can't you do that later? Why can't you come back with me now?
She puts her hand out to your face. She says, because my time is done. And this is how I can make a difference. If I wait, it might be too late. And there's so much more than just you and me. And I know that this is really hard. I know that there's a chance that you are going to live a long and bloody life. And you're going to fall in battle because you're my warrior. And I know that if I go to Cicero now, you might not be there. I might not be there when you get there. Might be where the gods are. But I have to do this.
You're everything I've been fighting for. I don't know how to do this without you. Last time I thought I lost you, I went off the fucking deep end. And in a really bad way. And I genuinely don't know how to do this without you. And Benno doesn't know how to do this without you. You're my world.
You will both find a way.
When I thought you died, the world fell apart. I don't know if I can go through that again.
You will. You will. You'll find a way. And you'll save this world on that level for everyone.
Please.
Anna. She puts her lips to your ears, and very quietly she says, if there's anyone in this entire world that I have faith in, it's you. So if anyone is going to battle through this world and fight to be a goddess like me, it's going to be you. So if you want a reason to fight for that. Because the world needs you too. And she pulls away. She says, and puts her hand over your heart, and she says, you're going to be okay. Because I'm always going to be watching you. So you do what you have to do with your life. And you find a way back to me. Because I don't want to lose you either. But sometimes it's more than us. And apart from that, Anna, I'm done. I'm so tired of all this. She reaches out and kisses you. And then the cold, hard reality sets back in. As you open your eyes, and you and Rhal are both sitting in the room as you'd left it. And you two can turn your mics back on. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Fuck you, first of all. But also, that was really good.
Back in the cold, harsh world. What do you guys want to do?
How much time has passed in the world?
6 seconds.
Oh, cool. Okay. As I was saying, Pinto, I have total faith that we'll be able to get her back no matter what. No, that's a joke. That's a joke. Neil, cut that.
No! Leave that in.
Take 2.
That's it. That's what Zaltanna comes back out to.
I make morbid jokes whenever someone dies like this because I don't know how to cope. And also, it's better than
I know how
anything
to
I would
cope right now.
Pintor, I would say, is checking in with Ronaldo just to make sure that what happened here while we were asleep, and then kind of glances over at Zaltanna.
As Zaltanna disappears and Rhal disappears also from your view, Renala just holds you very, very closely. She's very well aware of what's happening over with Adet. She's just glad it's not you. Why isn't she back? Benno's looking at you.
She didn't want to come back. Zaltanna looks absolutely incredulous. She's looking at her hands. like confused. She didn't want to come back. She said she was tired. She said she was gonna go become a goddess. I don't understand. I tried, Benno. I tried so hard. I tried to tell her that I can't do this without her. That I don't think you can do this. I don't know how.
He reaches out and pulls you into a hug. And he's just holding you closely, and he just says, "I'm so sorry."
My world is shattering all over again.
Zaltanna, I'm so sorry, little sister.
You're sorry for me. I'm sorry. It's your sister. She's your sister just as much as she was my wife. I cannot do this accent when I'm crying.
I don't think you've been doing the accent at any point so far. It's okay.
It's fine.
You're emotional. Go with it.
She's your sister just as much as she's my wife.
He nods and pulls away a little bit, and he just says, "We can't be fucking angry." Sorry. My sister. Coming a goddess, huh?
Yeah, apparently.
Should have figured. I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
He stands up and he just bolts from the room. The human guy who was helping you out very quietly slips out of the room as well.
Are Tuck and Elise in here?
No, they were back in the Witcher Society.
Oh, that's right. Zaltanna's gonna turn to Rhal and be like, Rhal, what? I'm so sorry. I really thought she'd come back. I didn't mean.
Rhal, like, is kind of, he's been sitting and watching and just observing. And he just stands up kind of casually and walks over and gives you a hug.
Aw. She hugs you like so fiercely.
And then acid and blood starts pouring out of every orifice.
Stop.
He
I'm
is
genuinely concerned that's going to happen now.
He is shirtless.
Sexy.
Kythea gives your hand a quick squeeze balance and goes over and puts her arms around those two as well. I'm so sorry.
Just no words. I literally have no words.
Come on, we should get you somewhere. Just out of this room. Come on. She, like, breaks apart and very carefully just, like, tries to get you to your feet. It's okay, I'll take care of everything. I know how to make the rooms work in here. I'll take care of her. You go
I
rest.
have to give her a burial. Like, oh my
She
god.
nods.
Elise has to do it because she's ill-mated too. Oh god. I don't even.
It's okay. It's not a worry for right now.
No, the worry for right now is what, Rhal? I can't believe you did that for me.
It's fine.
No, it's not. I mean, it's incredible that you would. You don't know what. I mean, I'm sure you know what that means to me, but.
Rhal, what did you do?
For me to see Odette, one of us had to sacrifice anything. And Rhal, instead of letting me sacrifice literally anything, Rhal gave up his ability to resist his own acid.
There's an audible facepalm from the back. From Balance.
It will hurt more. It's fine. It's not something new.
Okay.
I wasn't going to last much longer anyways.
I am going to help you find Ama if it's the last thing I do.
He smiles
she,
down at you.
She takes your hand and squeezes it.
That's all I want.
You've got it. Whatever I can do to help you find her.
Thank you.
Listen, you got me a last moment with Odette. It's literally the least I can do for you.
I'm glad that you got to do that. I know how important closure can be.
I don't feel like anything is closed. I feel like everything sucks.
I know that one too.
It's weird when your wife decides that she's gonna go become a goddess instead of coming back to life and being with you. It's a little...
Maybe you can help her.
And then she's like, go fall in love, Zaltanna. Thanks. You're literally dying in my arms right now. That's definitely what I wanted to hear. I'm going to go be a goddess. Go fall in love.
You should help her.
She smiles but in a very sarcastic and awkward way.
I would tell Emma to do the same thing.
Yeah, I'd probably...
I'm not expecting to last after I bring her back, so...
Well...
That's that.
So today sucks. But she looks at Balance.
What?
Are you gonna tell Kythea about, But she says it low. I don't remember if Kythea is still in the room or not, so.
She is.
Yeah, Kythea's
Oh.
with you.
She says it she kind of drags you off and says it quietly. She wouldn't say it in front of Kythea.
One problem at a time, and I don't consider that a problem. I've made my decisions on that.
Probably the right decision.
The smart decision, I think.
What I think the smart decision in this case is the right decision. And she looks at Kythea and she smiles and she walks back over to Odette's body and just kind of kneels down and goes quiet.
Balance walks out of the room and goes into the meditation room. Why not? Closes the door behind him and leans against the door. And
The meditation room is the kind of god room. Because the meditation room was the test.
no, he
and
goes
that
into the
room
test
is-
room.
Yeah, so yeah, I believe it's just a chair in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a chair in here.
He goes in, closes the door, and leans against it, and lifts his wrist up to his mouth, and with his other hand grabs onto the bracelet from Talvin.
Yep.
And starts saying to it, "We're in Falsum. Call in every favor. Whatever necromancer, whatever resurrection abilities you have at your disposal. Whoever you know, whatever is owed. I need you to come here so that we can get Ninverna back. And I need to get someone else."
You feel the message going off, but as usual, there's no responding message.
Mhm.
You know he's received it. 2 ticks come up on WhatsApp, he's got it.
After probably about a minute or two of just him sitting there continuing to just idly rub the bracelet, goes back out into the hallway and goes back into the alchemist room.
Okay. Is there anything anyone wants to specifically do before I roll forward to the morning?
I need to have a conversation with Kythea.
Okay, that's fine. During the course of the evening, most people are kept out of this room one way or another. People you know, people you don't know. Renala takes Pintor off back to where their rooms were back in the Witcher Society, and Thakit and Tuck and Elise filled in what's happening. And Balance, yes, you find yourself alone with Kythea at some point. She's sitting out in the main temple area where you guys first came in, where all the broken pews and the still fountain where Guardian and Claws were. They're still patrolling around, but the broken pews have now been fixed and are sitting upright, and the fountain has been reworked. Water is now flowing again, and she's just sitting on the edge looking at the water move.
Balance will first off greet Guardian and Claws because it's been a long time.
It's been a while.
So he'll just, as he walks in, just be like, Guardian, Claws, it's been a while. Glad to see you're still doing well.
Balance. Good to see you again.
And like Claws just like wanders past and like rubs her like rotted face against the side of her leg with a Rosanna kind of like and yeah.
Good job on guarding this place so far.
Claws just like licks at your face, just like
Thank you.
happy to see you.
If you wouldn't mind, I need to have a private moment with the young lady at the fountain. If you could just try to stay out of earshot, please.
Yeah, I mean, Guardian, like at the very edges of the room, he's not going to hear anything. Claws like looks at you, looks at Kythea tiefling version, and then just like sits in the doorway with her back to you. And then anyone who comes approaches, like she kind of like bounds on them and keeps them at their bay. So
Appreciated. Balance approaches Kythea and just kind of walks up behind. I want to say that he goes to put a hand on her shoulder, looks at her sitting in front of the fountain, and gets almost like a very pained expression on his face and actually backs away. And seems to be clutching his chest.
she turns and looks up at you. She says, "Are you okay?" Stupid question, I'm sorry.
There's no such thing as stupid questions. Can we get away from the fountain? I'm getting flashbacks.
Sure. She like gestures to one of the pews over in the corner. It's by the painting that I think Rhal accidentally set off. Fixed, rendered, etc. And yeah, she goes and sits down on a pew next to you.
So there are a lot of things that happened. I felt I should wait until after the whole thing with Odette before I mentioned.
She takes your hands in hers and she says, "Whatever it is, we'll get through it. You can tell me anything. We'll be okay."
I know we will. I will fight fiercely for this one small happiness.
She smiles.
My past is beginning to catch up with me. My brother showing up, my family disappearing, and a letter I received from an old friend. It seems that Queen Rowena has not given up on her old tricks, on her wily schemes, and while I appreciated them when I was younger, and often we would get into hijinks together, I think she tried to pull one that I cannot get behind. The letter she sent me was for me to marry her.
You feel Kythea tense up instantly.
And I plan on declining.
Oh. Why does she want to marry you?
Because that's her game. That's politics. She wants to use me as a way of defacing my aunt, the queen, of gaining favor with the elven people, I imagine. I can imagine that having me as an ally in general would also be of a great boon to her. That being said, I'm not going along with it. I understand that this would be a very easy ticket for me to get back into the upper echelons of society, but I don't want it that way anymore. I lost the easy life that night 50 years ago. If I'm ever going to somehow reclaim my throne, or perhaps create a new one, it needs to be off of my own work, my own merit. I want people that will follow me because I've earned it, because I've shown them that I am worthy of leading them.
You want them to choose you.
I want to lead by deed, not by blood.
She smiles. She says, I'm glad to hear you say that. I'm really glad to hear you say that. It wasn't easy getting back here. There really is a fight brewing between the elves and the dwarves. We barely got out in time to get here. Talus and Caden are a little worse for wear. But they're okay. I think I know why she wants this. She doesn't want there to be a war. She probably doesn't realize what with all of this going on, we're going to be at war with something much, much bigger.
Which is why we need to work quickly and prove to both sides what is truly important. Life, living, enjoying the little things. If there's one thing I've learned in my short time out of prison, it's that I need to enjoy the small things that I have at my disposal. Because I don't know when I will perish. Whether it be hundreds of years from now, or days, weeks, minutes. Who can know?
It's very true.
I think my aunt is playing a very dangerous game, and I don't know why.
I guess that's something we're going to have to figure out. All these people here. And she looks over in the direction where Claus is playing with some small children and keeping them away. They're all in danger just because of who they are. The world can't afford to hate each other just because of who you are right now. There are much, much bigger problems, and she kind of looks up in the general directions of the heavens. Much bigger fights. And things like this, and she squeezes your hands. They're so important. It's worth fighting for. That's worth dying for. Nothing else.
We just need to make them see that. That being said, I'm not so sure that my aunt will be easily convinced. Those who live long lives often find it difficult to change who they are. It took me 50 years to become the person I am now. Who knows what I would have been like otherwise? I could have been just as bad as them.
You're not.
I would have been. I don't know what to do. I find myself saying that more often than not these days.
As in regards to the letter, want to say back to her?
Everything. Every fucking thing. I feel like there is so much to do, and there are so many problems in the world. And I feel compelled to try to fix them all. We need to get the final 2 pieces for Monarch. We need to stop the apocalypse. We need to deal with this civil war that's brewing. We need to make it where these people here can live their lives unafraid. They have to hide down here. It's barbaric. It's insulting. And it hurts me. As a person of this world, I can't abide by these atrocities.
We're gonna fix them. Just one problem at a time. Start with the little things first.
I think on the grand scheme of that, the smallest thing would be me going and dealing with my aunt then. Stopping the civil war so that we have 2 armies on our side. But that distracts us from getting the final 2 artifacts.
It's the final 3, by the way, I think.
Shit. My brain is all convoluted. 3 other pieces we need to get. That's even worse, actually, because we don't even know where any of the 3 are. Well, except for the one that's in the hands of Dacian, and if I ever see him, I'm going to kill him. Actually, no.
Well.
Fuck. Oh, God. There are things, ooh. I'm remembering a lot of things right now. So...
Would it be safe to say that you fill her in on all the details of your adventures?
Yeah, Balance suddenly gets
Okay.
like shit,
We'll do that.
okay, maybe I should probably start from the beginning, and essentially tells Kythea everything that happened, Lisbeth, and all of that.
All right. I'm going to say that's probably going to take the good portion of the night.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Okay. You guys fill each other in on your journeys. She tells you that she initially went up to Dust Plateau to go to the library to pick up, to try and research on the treaty itself, as was the plan. The entire point of them going to this place as a double thing. She didn't get to it because there were scuffles that happened between the elves and the dwarves. That herself, Caden, and Talus only just made it to a Witcher Society before, like, it was in total shutdown and utter chaos. There was a huge fight up there. Yeah, that's basically her filling in you on the tiny little details that were left. Also, that she had met Pintor a few days before, was a little surprised, but dealt with it. Yeah, that's basically her filling you in on the details. Okay. Pintor, is there anything you wish to do this evening?
Bucky's here.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Hi.
Sorry, Bucky.
Sorry, everyone is so sad right now. I'm so sorry.
No, it's yeah, some stuff happened apparently.
Welcome.
I came at a bad time. Thanks,
Welcome
V.
to the Lucky Cry.
Hey guys, I'm here to help.
Thanks, V, for waiting a year to call me into this.
It's not my fault.
Um,
These fuckers took more than a year to get back to Fausta.
I wanted to ask, it's probably not the best thing, but while Balance was talking and saying all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
was there an easy place to potentially hide and eavesdrop?
Ooh, you have to get past a bear and a guardian.
Just to listen,
Take
nothing else.
a stealth check.
Come on, Klaus. Come on, Klaus.
24.
Oh.
Claws?
Yes. You are you have to strain all of your muscles to hear what's going on. And occasionally the odd word here and there gets dropped and left out, and some things you hear and some things you don't. You think you get the gist, even if you don't get the exact phrasing or the exact words. You get the gist of what's going on. Quite often you trying to listen in really hard is punctuated by lots of in your general direction, and like children who are up way beyond their bedtime, being chased into the common rooms in the barracks by their parents or by claws.
So I only really listen in to hear kind of to get the gist of who my brother is. And then once they start like kind of breaking down that nervousness of I have to tell you something, and they start getting more personal and like start going over each other's lives and what they've been doing through, I give them privacy and I leave.
Okay. You have a vague gist of what's going on.
Other than that, I
So-
go back to my bedroom. Rhal is passed out, and I kind of sit at my desk awake for a while, kind of just mulling over what happened today, as it was quite possibly the craziest day Pintor has ever had in his entire existence. All at once.
This is just a
No,
Tuesday
not
for
far
us.
from the
Yeah.
It really is.
It's just a Sunday night for us.
This is a good homecoming.
This is literally a child walking into a room going, hey, and then a nuclear bomb going off.
Okay. No, that's fine. Yes. I'm gonna say because that was a real cheeky stealth check. That's probably taken up most of your evening. By the time you go back to your rooms, like you say, Renala is passed out and asleep. Thakit is kind of like pacing up and down the balcony, just gives you a cursory like sup, and then also like goes to bed. Yeah, you pass a fairly sleepless night. Okay, Rhal, anything you would like to do?
No, Rhal probably sat in the room quietly with Zaltanna for a couple minutes after everyone else left, and then gave her some privacy, and probably just went to the Ilmater room for a while, and then no, rough day, so he's gonna actually not go see Bogram. Because also we've been talking on our own for like a very long time now. So he'll put Bogram off, talking to Bogram off for now, and go, I guess, back to the cart.
Okay.
Oh, V.
Leaving.
It sounds like something mean is at the cart.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's at the Vitcha Society. What could possibly go wrong?
Someone appears and it's set on fire. No, what's... You make your way over to the cart. What are you doing at the cart, my dude? Are you just... Is this maybe the first time you've ever slept in the cart?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just gonna curl up and sleep in the cart.
Okay. Okay. I need to check one conditiony thing. Vulnerable. There we go. You are now vulnerable to acid.
Wait. So he didn't just lose his resistance, he now is vulnerable to it?
He is indeed.
Oh, Neil, you fucked up, dude.
Now
He had a
you
very
fucked
interesting character.
All right.
choice.
I needed to find the specific phrase of what exactly the fuck it was. I'm like, I know there's a word for it, and I know it's not fucked up by.
Yeah, it's vulnerability.
Vulnerability. Okay. Well, you go to the cart. You cut up in one of the beds, or on the floor, or underneath, or above, whatever
The hot
state
tub.
your fancy. No, we do not have a hot
There's a pool
tub.
on the roof.
We don't have a hot
Jacuzzi.
tub. Stop it. Stop it.
Hey,
Stop it.
any tub with Pintorin is a hot tub. Let's be fair.
Hey.
Rhal, you cut up in the RC on your own, going to sleep. You have some pretty vivid dreams. They are unpleasant. They are flashes of a memory that you've had but have been desperately trying not to think about for years. There are flashes of a black dragonborn. You as a child in the hospital. You remember bits and pieces. You remember a name. I am going to put my patron list now that I've said it. You remember flashes. You remember a flash of a name of someone who was going through what you were. Much, much older when you were very, very young, 10 or 11, just after you found out that you were sick. You remember the name Meowchi. You remember scales. You remember scales falling off, blood pouring from underneath them. You remember the sounds of dissolving bones, and you remember this person throwing up thick chunks of blood. At the end of the night, when you've had your full rest, your eyes open a little bit, but you can't move. You feel your acid pouring down your nose, out of your mouth. You can feel it sliding underneath your hoodie, and you can hear it now. You can hear it dissolving your scales. You can feel your chest getting very weak. You can feel your bones just don't feel right. Breathing becomes laborious, almost like you're breathing water. Your hit points are reduced to 0. You are unconscious as you have your first acid attack. Hi, it's Benno here. So my sister, she's not coming back. Whew. I feel like I've been here before, but this is so much worse. She died. My arms. I don't know what to do. First of all, I think we need to give thanks. Firstly, to our newer patron, Fat Cat Vermeulen. Thank you. And to Neil for the name Meowchi. If you want to help out, if you want to spread the good word and you want to find out more about us, then you should check out our website, tholuckydie.com. We could probably use all your thoughts and prayers right now. My sister's going to become a goddess.
Zaltanna's gonna turn to Rhal and be like, Rhal, hold on.
Uh-huh.
Rhal, I'm so sorry. That was
There it is.
terrible.
What the fuck was that?
That's how I get
she
into my
gets in.
accent.
Okay.
Don't all of you New Yorkers do that? That's what you do, right? You all go, eh?
Usually I just say fuck, and then I get right back into fuck. The fuck over here.
Rhal.
Someone appears and it's set on fire. No, what's...
There's only 3 people I can think of right now that are very good with fire. One of them is me. One of them is not in town, and the third one is an egg.
Who's also not in town.
Who's also not in town.
Oh no, yeah, the egg's gone with Homer. Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
So yeah, as you get to the cart, one of those relics you were talking about just falls from the sky and lands in front of you, and you go, "Hey, job done!"
It's that mysterious 6th one I forgot about. No,
And then Daichin is standing on top of the cart.
just sitting.
We all die.
Like, sitting, like leaning back, like paint me like one of your French women. Like he's not
Oh,
doing
God,
that.
no, please don't.
It's not happening.
I'm not ready for that.
It's not happening.
You're not,
I am.
you're
I'm
not
so
prepared
this.
to paint Daichin like one of your French girls?
My character vision of this person is basically just Handsome Jack from Borderlands.
Me too.
Yeah, you're kind of not wrong. Yeah,
I
a
imagine
little
that
taller
with
and a
like
bit.
the long black hair, and also it's David, so
He's
it's a little bit
great.
more fancy looking.
I've described him a very particular way. He's like kind of greyish hair and a bit of a beard. But I always only ever see David now because of David.
He's just sitting on top of the
Anyway.
on top of the thing, and he's like, "Balance. Did I tell you about my pony that I named Butt Stallion?
Butt stallion.
Butt Stallion."
It's made of diamonds.
I named your ponies.
This one's butt stab.
It's no longer Piper and Fernando. It's Butt Stallion and Butt Stallionette. No.
Butt
Okay.
Stallion. Right? Isn't that the line?
Yes.
Yeah.
I literally
Make
just
your-
finished playing Borderlands 2 for like the third time.
So good.
Oh, wait a minute. That makes Tiny Tina a Demi.
That makes sense.
Clearly. Yeah, clearly.
Are you looking for a D&D podcast that'll make you laugh? How about one that'll make you cry? Sweat profusely with stress and anxiety because of a flippin' mule? Taking Initiative is a Dungeons & Dragons 5e actual play podcast with an audio drama feel. These episodes are scored, character-driven, and filled with utter bullshit. Mostly because of Nick, let's be honest. Featuring special guests, the Venture Maidens, D&D is for nerds, and more. Plus, we're in Wizards of the Coast podcast of series.
Welcome, everyone.
It's your pal Ray Ray.
That was an interesting time you had, Nick.
I pat the horse on the rump. Thank you, great-grandfather.
He just said his hopes and dreams. He didn't cast a spell.
You gotta get down deep and lift from the knees.
So that's the only big organ he has.
Damn, Taking Initiative. Look us up on Twitter at TI_pod and on our website, takinginitiativepodcast.com.